Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today, I'm gonna be giving you part 12 of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the Beginning. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune because later on I'm gonna be posting a new episode of What If Naruto got his memories sealed away. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was raised by the Hyuga clan, and what if Naruto was given a second chance. So stay tuned for those, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode. Begin the intro. So the last time we left off, Sakura realized how useless she was, as she always being saved by her teammates. But not anymore, as she took a stance, fighting off against the Soul Ninjas. But even with her trying to get her new resolve, she was still no match for them. But Lee then showed up, but those two, because of his gauntlets on his arms, damaged Lee's ears, as Lee collapsed on the ground. But luckily, Shikamaru and Choji and Ino arrived to protect them. Meanwhile, the fighting was going on. Naruto was in his mindscape as he met the Kyuubi. She was a beautiful girl. The Bijous didn't have any genders, but she took this form to walk on land, and she saw that it had many advantages, as many men would do whatever she said. But she saw humans as nothing but a pathetic pest that she could literally squash when she walked, as she didn't like humans all that much. She was then telling Naruto that she used her yokai, a lot of it, to prevent that seal from controlling his mind and taking over his body. And yeah, right now she was kind of weakened, but something happened when she did that. Back in the outside world, Sasuke had got up as the curse mark spread over his body, as he snapped Zaku's arms and kicked him to the ground. Sasuke was about to finish the rest of them when Naruto woke up finally. As Naruto was different, his hair longer and spiky. He has even grown till his shirt wouldn't even fit him anymore, and you can see the fangs in his mouth. And he has gotten muscular, as Tenten was drooling as he wasn't wearing a shirt, as she couldn't believe what happened to him. Even Sasuke was so confused and surprised that he snapped out of his cursed state form. But after that, the group said their goodbyes after he headed off towards the tower. Arriving there, Naruto told Iruka about what happened, as Iruka went off to talk to Hokage, as Naruto put a Fuinjutsu seal on Sasuke's curse mark so that the power would not tempt him. After that, they all decided to get some sleep, as Naruto went back to talk back to the Kyuubi. Getting there, she told him that he was a half demon, and that he's immortal, as Naruto was beyond shocked to hear that. He was angry, enraged, to hear that he was going to live out everyone, and he's going to see everyone he loved die. And she said a smart ass remark that made him got pissed as he pinned her to the wall. But she pushed him off, but he knocked her back down to the ground and raised his fist. She was surprised that purple yokai came on his fist. She felt like that fist could completely wipe her out of existence, especially now since she was weak after using her yokai to protect him from that seal. He could kill her, but he stopped inches away from her face, as he broke down crying, as she just stood there. She never really was close to a human like this before, so it was weird, as she apologized and asked him why. Why didn't he kill her? He felt it as well. He felt like he could just wipe her out of existence right there. As the both of them started to talk, as she told him that this hadn't happened in years, centuries, to see a Henyu, a half demon and half human. As he got the physical traits like the speed, the strength, the enhanced reflex and all that. but she doesn't really know much about it. But she told him that he'll be able to use some of her jutsus. As Naruto was surprised, she created her own jutsus. So yeah guys, that was basically the last we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what is will begin this new episode. You create your own jutsu, Naruto asks. Despite the revelations, the emotions, the mental stress that he has went through, he was a little bit excited to use jutsus created by the Kyuubi. She hummed as she tapped her finger against her chin in a thinking pose. I suppose you can call them that. However, none of these actually require hand signs. They are pure manipulation of either element or yokai. And you may not be able to use all of them since your yokai is not potent as mine. Yokai? You mean I have yokai? Said Naruto. Of course, you're a Henyu now, so your chakra was replaced with yokai. Well, technically you can consider it half yokai. When my yokai mixed with your chakra and melted with it, turning you to a Henyu after all. That is why your physical abilities are so much better now. Because yokai is many more times potent than chakra. Your coils have a set of yokai flowing through you no matter what you do. This means that yokai is moving through your body enhancing it. And it's gonna be great for your physical training. So you're telling me that I could stop exercise right now and remain at the same level of physical performance in order to ask? Yes, the Kyuubi said, and if you continue to get stronger, your muscles or bones, anything that break or torn, will become twice as stronger. So does this mean my yokai will be harder to control in order to ask? Well, on the contrary, because your coils expanded and your yokai flow smoothly than your chakra did, it will be much easier for you to control. Your only issue will be some of the less powerful human techniques. Because yokai is more potent and chaotic, you will need to nearly use 3 more times yokai than you use chakra. But I have created several exercises that can help you control your yokai. Naruto nodded, and for the first time he gave her a smile. So does this mean you're going to help me with my training? Well, I suppose I could, she said with a smirk, but you'll have to listen to everything. And if you don't, I will cut off the circulation to one of your limbs. And trust me, you won't like which one. Naruto frowned, but before he could respond to that threat, a new voice interrupted him. Naruto? What the hell? Naruto asked. Oh, it sounds like someone is calling from the outside world, said the Kyuubi. Then I guess I have to go, said Naruto. I'll see you later, I guess. Actually, if you want to talk to me, just think what you're going to say, and I'll answer you. As Naruto nodded as he faded out of the seal. As the Kyuubi stared at the spot that Naruto was just sitting, thinking hard about what just happened, the conversation turned out like nothing that she had expected. The way he slammed her into the wall and that power that he called upon. While his yokai is nowhere near as strong as I am at full power, it's stronger than I expected. She wasn't sure what to make of it. The power that he unleashed was both unexpected and unwelcome. Because she did not know what it meant, the energy just burst out of him at an uncontrolled manner. If anything, it seemed like a hidden well of energy. I have to investigate some more. Meanwhile, Naruto, wake up, Naruto, Sakura yelled, as Sasuke and the Onvus that had come to get them sweat dropped. To how violent the girl was acting. As Naruto blinked a few times and slowly opened his eyes. What the hell do you want, he said. Can't you see I'm trying to sleep? Hokage-sama wants to see us, so get out your lazy ass and come on, she said. Fine, said Naruto as he yawned, as he got out of bed. He then heard a squeak as he turned to see a red-faced Sakura. Put some clothes on, Baka, she said as she turned around. You know, Sakura, you may want to keep that fantasy out of your head with me and you. Because what would Sasuke think if you fall for another man? Shut up, she said, as Naruto put on a pair of pants and his cloak. I'm gonna need a change of pants as well, Naruto said. These no longer fit. He then looked at Anvu, who was looking at him in particular. Lead the way, Anvu-san, he said. This seemed to snap her out of her stupor. Right, follow me, she said. The members of Team 7 went with the Anvu. Moments later, the door opened as Sarutobi smiled to see them unharmed. Naruto-kun, Sasuke-kun, Sakura-chan, he said. I'm glad to see the 3 of you are safe. He then paused. Naruto? What happened to you? Why does everyone keep on asking me that? First Sasuke team, then Haruka-sensei, and now you. Well, you look different, Sarutobi said. Didn't Haruka-sensei told you about my changes, Naruto asked. Sarutobi shook his head. I believe he was more concentrating on the fact that 3 Genins went up against an S-rank criminal. Whatever, it's cool, Naruto said a shrug. As for changes, I honestly don't know. One meantime up against that pedophile, and next meantime like this. Not that I'm complaining though, because I really like this new look. Anyways, I guess you call us talk about your pedophile of a student. Sarutobi chuckled at Naruto's nonchalant attitude, but he was a tad worried. Yes, I called you here to discuss from what I heard from Aruka, and Uncle as well in the force of death. Wait, Uncle? She faced Orochimaru? Is she okay? Did he hurt her? Calm down, Naruto, said Sarutobi. Uncle is perfectly fine. She had a few minor injuries, but nothing serious. It seemed like Orochimaru doesn't want to start any trouble yet. If that was the case, I doubt he would have attacked our team, said Naruto. Perhaps, but from what I understand, he had a specific purpose for doing that. Perhaps you three can elaborate from what happened from your perspective. As the three of them nod, then tell Sarutobi what happened from the three of them got separated. By the wind style, as several times Sarutobi felt like he was going to have a heart attack, especially when he heard about Naruto's self-sacrifice to let his teammates go along and face off against Orochimaru by himself. At the end of the report he frowned. So you're telling me that both of you received the curse mark, he said. Yeah, that's about right, said Naruto. And Yearns is no longer there, Sarutobi asked. Naruto sighed and showed Sarutobi's neck, but there was nothing there. I managed to beat the Hebai team power back. That just shows how truly awesome I am. Sasuke snorted, while Sarutobi chuckled. Well, that is good to hear. No, Sasuke, anything Orochimaru gives is extremely dangerous, so you will have to seal it. Oh, you don't have to worry about that, said Naruto. I already took care of it. Sarutobi blinked. What do you mean you took care of it? I mean I already sealed it up. Show me, Sarutobi said. Sasuke frowned, but he went over and showed Sarutobi the seal. What kind of seal is this? Sarutobi asked, as he saw this complex and powerful seal. Oh, it's a modified version of the evil sealing method, Naruto said. I basically double layer version of that. You know, the seal is tied to the person's will that wants to use it. Sarutobi nodded. Well, I also tied to my will as well with the double seal, so even if Sasuke wants to use it, without my permission, he won't be able to. Sasuke can also train hard and do as he likes since he don't have to worry about keeping the seal in check. Sarutobi was shocked to think that in less than 6 months, Naruto has become so advanced in sealing. He's truly Minato's son. That is extremely impressive, Naruto-kun. I am actually surprised how far you have gotten in your sealing. Oh, thanks, Naruto said with a smile. You know, if you're interested, I could have Jiraiya look over a few of your seal designs when you get into the village. You mean Jiraiya, one of the Sanis, Naruto asked. Yeah, the very same one. That would be awesome, Naruto said. Well, he would be returning in the month. But I do have a question though, said Sarutobi. Can you put that seal on Uncle? No, Naruto said. She already have a sealing method on her. And if I remove that one, I am afraid that it will flare up. She has never really used her curse mark before, and it would destroy her coils. So I don't trust to do that, he said. I see, said Sarutobi sadly. I thank you three for giving me a report on what happened. The second stage for the Chunin exam will be ending in 2 days, so I suggest you use that time to rest. In that case, I'm gonna get some food. I feel like I haven't eaten in weeks. I wonder if they have any Ichiraku ramen here, as they left. So, what do you think? Asked Sarutobi, as there was a shimmer in the corner as Jiraiya stepped out. Well, the kid is definitely talented, I can tell you that. I am not even sure that Minato could come up with a seal like that at his age. And this means we don't have to worry about the snake trying to affect the Uchiha's mind, given that he had to go through Naruto as well. So I'm guessing you're going to help him out over the 1 month period. And I also need you to look at his seal. I fear that the Kyuubi is trying to influence him. It was able to speak to him in the mission, in the wave. I want to make sure that won't happen again, Jiraiya. Jiraiya frowned. Well, we'll see what happens, he said, so long as it doesn't cut in my research. Have you no shame, Jiraiya? Asked Sarutobi. Come on, I will need a bit more material before I come up with my new Ichi series. As Sarutobi looked at him. Fine, just help the boy out sometime, okay? Don't worry, old man, I can do both. 2 days later, Naruto was looking around, as a lot of team had passed Kabuto's team, all of the rookies, Kumo, the Sand, and to Naruto's surprise, the Sound team passed as well. Behind Sarutobi was Anko, Ibiki, along with all the Jonin senseis as well. As Anko looked around, I can't believe so many people made it, she said, as she then spotted Naruto grin at her, as she grinned back. I'll still have to ask him out like her see later, even though the Hokage said disappeared. Just want to make sure it's okay, she thought. Looks like your team made it, Kakashi. They didn't do too bad, or perhaps they got lucky. But from here on out, it's all about skill. And with my team here, your team is out of luck, said Guy. As Kakashi looked over, did you say something, Guy? as Guy's face faltered. Meanwhile, it looked like a few minutes at Yuchito as she looked around. It seems that the blonde is more than empty bravado, she said as she spotted him. To everyone that has made it, I congratulate you, said Uncle. Now I suggest all of you list the Hokage, who will explain the third test. As the Hokage came up and first gave his speech about the true reason for the exam, to unite the nations and show peace amongst one. After that, he was going to talk to them about the preliminaries, but Hayase came there and asked Hokage if he could explain this. As Sir Toby nodded and stepped back. What the hell is wrong with this guy, Naruto thought? Is he sick or something? My name is Cough. Hayate, cough, cough. As the man kept on coughing. And you're here for the preliminary exams, he said. Preliminaries? We have to do preliminaries, Sakura said. Well, it seems that the first two exams were just too easy. There are just too many of you. There would be many daimyos and important people. They want to see the best of best, not the drawn out fights. So basically the cream of the crop, Naruto said. Well, I was looking for something fun to do anyway, so I guess I can play around with this. Right, Hayate said. As his sweat dropped as he saw the uncle grin on Naruto's face. Anyways, if any of you want to quit, now's your chance, he said. Kabuto looked around the room as the son, Jonin, who was Orochimaru in disguise, shook his head. Kabuto was confused why. Did Orochimaru didn't want him to quit? Well, I guess I could stay for a little while longer, he thought. As Hayate saw that no one was going to back down, he decided to start the match, as a scream was propelled down. This board will go through random names. If your name is selected, stay, and the rest of you go up to the balcony. As the group waited, as it came on Yori versus Uchiha Sasuke. As Naruto looked around and see that Yori was one of Kabuto's teammates. Well, teen, it seems like you're right off the bat. Don't lose. That was all Sasuke said, as the others went up the stairs. I hope you're ready, Uchiha, said Yori. Hopefully or not, you're gonna lose here. You keep telling yourself that, said Sasuke. Are the both of you ready? Hayate asked, as the both of them nodded. Begin! This match didn't went on for too long, as Yori was nothing to Sasuke, especially now that he wasn't being affected by the curse mark. As Yori got right up to Sasuke, Sasuke vanished. The next thing Yori knew, he was getting a hard kick under the chin and sent him flying up in the air, as Sasuke appeared underneath him using the leaf. Shadow Dance. That's Lee said. Recognize the attack that he often used and the one that Sasuke saw only once. Guy remained silent, but he was not pleased by Sasuke bluntly stealing someone else's move without asking or bothering to really master it. I'll admit, Sasuke said behind Yori, that move was taken from someone else, but from here on out it's all original. Lion Barrage, as he smashed his heel into Yori's stomach, as Yori smashed into the ground with great force before coughing up blood and passing out. Winner, Uchiha Sasuke, said Hayate. Sasuke stuck his hands in his pocket and walked back up to the stairs where teammates were. You stole that move from Lee, Naruto accused. I did what I have to. I figured that move was useful, so I learned it. But you took it without his permission and used it. Lee put a lot of effort to learn those moves and for you to just copy it. Whatever, Sasuke said. Naruto scowled a bit, but he decided not to comment on it anymore. As two more names appeared. Ino Yamanaka versus Tenten. Good luck, Tenten-chan, Naruto said. Tenten was glad that she was not facing Naruto because she was blushing, as several of the other girls noticed though, and they were scowling at her. Yosh, Tenten, show them your flames of youth, said Guy. Let it burn brightly, said Lee, as her blush deepened with everyone now looking at her. Well, I suppose Naruto concheering is not so bad, but do Lee and Guy have to be so loud? Are the both of you ready? Hayate asked, as the both of them nodded. Begin, Hayate said, as Ino threw some shuriken, but Tenten simply psyched them out. She even grabbed onto several of her shurikens and tossed them back to Ino. Ino's eyes widened as she bit back a yell of pain as two of her shurikens grazed her arm. If you're going to use a basic technique like that against me, you might as well quit. It's obvious from the lack of muscles on your body, and the fact that you look like you will snap like a twig if a breeze hits you. You are nothing more than a fangirl at the academy. Ino scowled. Shut up, I'll show you, she said, as Ino rushed forward, but Tenten leaped in the air. As Ino tried to block or merely dodge, but Tenten smashed a kick right into her, as Ino was sent flying back and hit the ground hard. You might as well just give up now. I'm not done yet, Ino said, getting back up. Naruto walked over to Team 10. You know, your teammates can get her ass kicked, right? 10 hate fangirl like her. No, that's unfair, said Asuma as he took a puff of a cigarette. Ino has some trick up her sleeve. You mean the mind transfer jutsu? That jutsu requires the person to stay still, right? And if her soul doesn't hit, that means her soul will be out of her body. And also you're forgetting something, Tenten was trained by Guy Sensei. You do make a valid point, said Asuma. How do you know so much about this girl? Asked Kamaru. As he actually agreed with Naruto for all the reasons that Naruto gave, there was no way Ino would win this. Well, I've often trained with him a lot. Back down in there. Ino went through hands and she placed her hand together. As she called out the one clan jutsu that she knew. But Tenten jumped away from the spot that she was. As she then leaped over towards Ino and placed a kunai at her neck. It took a few seconds but Ino came back to her body. Yield, said Tenten. Fine, I give. As Hayate came over. Winner, Higurashi Tenten, he said. As Tenten made her way back up the stairs. As she stopped in front of Naruto was standing there. Nice job, you really kicked her ass. Tenten blushed a bit but smiled back. Thanks, Naruto-kun. Tenten, that was the most youthful match, said Guy. Flames burning in his eyes. Yes, Tenten, you really show your flames of youth. Thanks, you two, she said, boldly and Guy. The next match was Conqueror versus Misumi Kabuto, other team mate. This match just went by at least 2 or 3 minutes, as Misumi was fighting a puppet of Conqueror. And yeah, he got messed up when the real Conqueror came out, and the puppet started to attack for real. The next match was Kiba versus Yuchito. Alright Akamaru, looks like we're up, as Kiba jumped off the railing. Wow, check this out Akamaru, we're facing a babe, said Kiba. Hey, how about after this you and I go out somewhere? Seen from your headband, you're a cool Moon Ninja, right? That means you don't know about the village that well. How about I show you around? No thanks, she said. I don't date men who don't have a habit of not bathing, she said. What was that? Listen here, you bitch. You should be glad someone like me asked you out. I doubt anyone would have. Be happy for a lecturer's pig that smell like wet dog, asked the mouse, said Yuchito in disdain. Wow, Kurenai-san, I thought you would have beaten the pervert out of Kiba by now, said Naruto. I tried. But it's a lot difficult than it looks, she said. I guess it's just who he is, said Naruto. As Naruto then felt a massive killing intent coming from Yuchito. Seems like she's pissed. Even I know not to piss off a woman like that. Are you sure about that? You could have fooled me when we met, said the Kyuubi. As Naruto heard her teasing voice, he was not sure what to feel about her, but they were stuck together. So, at least they could try be friends. So with that mind thought, he decided to play along. Oh, that's not fair, Q-chan, he said. I was so surprised to find out that the demon was a woman. A very hot one at that was sealed inside of me. I forgot my manners. And besides, I learned all about speaking to women from Uncle. The Kyuubi was thankful that Naruto couldn't see her because she was blushing a bit. The only time she received compliments was from the man who was enthralled in her beauty, but they were nothing but slaves. But she was able to recover quickly. You know that Uncle is basically a female version of you, right? No, that's not true. Is it? Naruto asked. She smirked. Don't feel bad, Naruto-kun, she said. It's nothing serious. Don't worry, I'll teach you how to treat a woman after a second stage. Just great, Naruto said. Just what I need. Etiquette lesson from someone who can destroy an entire mountain with a tail swipe. I heard that, she said. So, it's not like you can do anything about it, Naruto said. Oh, that's where you're wrong. I may not be able to control your actions. For instance, cut off the anatomy that makes you a male. Okay, I'm sorry, please. Don't do that, Naruto said. As she sighed, seriously, what am I going to do with you? Help me with my etiquette, Naruto asked, in a cheapish voice. You will be getting that anyways, it seems like you need it. I was talking about punishment. Perhaps I should continue what I'm doing. Oh, come on, that's not fair, Naruto said. Who said I ever played fair, she said. Come on, forgive me already, he said. I'll leave it for now, she said. But take a look at that girl, can you feel it? As Naruto looked over, Kiba had soiled himself because the girl was releasing so much killing intent. I feel her killing intent, but it's not that bad, Naruto said. It seems like Kiba isn't used to things like this. No, not that. There's yokai in her attacks. She's a Jinchuriki. What? There's another Jinchuriki in the exam, said Naruto, surprised. Wait, which one does she hold? It's hard to tell. But I think it's a Nibi, the two-tailed Hellcat. Yeah, I'm sure. but I only seen it once. It tried to attack me several hundred years ago, and I was forced to turn it into ash with a menacing ball, because it was so damn persistent. But it must have gotten caught after it was reformed. That's surprising, Naruto said. I never expected to meet someone like me here. That's probably why she kept on staring at me. The match was over before it even started. As soon as Hayate gave the begin signal, she rushed Kiba at a speed that he could not follow, as her fingers were crackling with lightning. As she hit Kiba on the left shoulder first, and the spark on her index finger disappeared. She then hit him on the left leg. She then hit him on the right arm. She then hit him on the right leg. As she then hit him in the stomach, his entire body exploded into lightning as he smashed into the wall. As everyone watched in shock as Kiba fell down to the floor, bleeding, unconscious. Consider yourself lucky that I didn't kill you for being such a pervert, she said. But Kiba was out of it to hear. As she went back up to her teammates, as she did not wait for Hayate to say who was the winner. That was pretty harsh, Yuchito-san, her dark-skinned teammate said. Yuchito shrugged. You know how I feel about perverts, Ayako. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same. Ayako shrugged. I guess I would do the same, since it was that perverted doll kid. She then glanced over at the blonde-haired boy. But I might not if it was him. Yuchito looked over to her fellow blonde to see him talking with that blonde-haired girl. You know she's right, he's quite the catch. I don't need your perverted comments right now, Nibi, said Yuchito, with a small blush. As Nibi was always doing this, teasing her when an attractive male was around, though she assumed it was some kind of revenge for being sealed inside of her. So you see, but we both know what you think. Besides, he's a lot like you. Wait, what do you mean? He's a Jinjulki? As Yuchito looked back over at Naruto, as Naruto felt some eyes on him as he turned, he looked at her. As he waved towards her, she blushed a bit and looked away as Naruto chuckled and got back to his conversation. Yes, he is, but I sense something odd about his chakra. It's strange. What do you mean strange? That's just what I mean. It feels different from human chakra. To be honest, it feels like a demon yokai, but it's not as potent. As Yuchito glanced over at him, wondering what was so different about him. The next match, Shikamaru Nara versus Kin. Man, how troublesome. Why do I have to fight a woman? Asked Shikamaru. Several tip marks appear on Ino's head. What was that, Shikamaru? Do you have a problem with women? Shut up, troublesome blonde, he said as he walked down the stairs, even with Ino cursing and glaring at him. As he reached down there, hey ref, do you think I can forfeit? This fight is too troublesome, plus I really don't want to fight a girl. Hayate's weight dropped at his lazy attitude. Huh, so you got a problem with fighting girls, huh? Well, I suppose I'll just have to beat you quickly, said Kin. Whatever. I saw the other two abilities, but I had no idea what she does. And she already seen my abilities. Begin, Hayate said, as Shikamaru went through hand sign, as his shadow started to come after her. That again, she said as she jumped away, as she threw senbons. As bells were attached to them. Bells? Said Shikamaru confused. That's a one-trick pony, he said. Next you will throw one without a bell. And then when I react to the one with the bell ringing, the sound will get to me, right? You sure like to run off your mouth, said Kin as she threw several senbon needles. If you think I run my mouth, then you should be glad you're not facing Naruto, Shikamaru said. I heard that, you lazy bastard, Naruto yelled. As Shikamaru was then trapped as the bell was ringing behind him as she used ninja threads. No, I got you, she said, as she threw more senbons at him. Shikamaru raised his arms as several senbons stuck in it. He was about to make his move when he started to lose balance. What the? As he looked to see three Kin. You like? She said that smirk. This is my genjutsu. I utilize sound waves and direct them inside your body to knock your equilibrium off. You're likely seeing several of me now, right? Damn it, said Shikamaru, as each Kin took out several senbons. No, you're done. She stopped. My body. Shadow possession. Successful, said Shikamaru. Interesting, Naruto said. So that's how he did it, as he spotted what really happened. What are you talking about, Naruto? Sakura asked. How did he do what? He caught her, said Naruto. I almost didn't see it there. Huh? How did he caught her? Asked Tenten, as she leaned over the railing. Well, look at the shadows for the strings. They're far thicker than you're supposed to be. As she was forced to pull a kunai. As Shikamaru threw it, and she threw hers as well. But he bent over and she did the same, but she smacked her head against the wall, knocking her unconscious. Shikamaru Nara, the winner. Yeah, you go, Shikamaru, Ino shouted, praising her teammate. So troublesome, he said. The next match was Zaku versus Chino. This match didn't really last long, As Sakura looked at the gruesome fight once the battle was over. Huh, how did he do that? As Zaku's arms were ripped off clean. Well, Chino plugged the hero holes on that Zaku guy's arm. The force was just too great, and it seems like they just imploded on each other, ripping off his arms. You're correct about that, Uzumaki-san, said Chino as he came up the stairs. Good match, Chino, said Naruto, as Chino just went back over to his team. Man, those bugs were creepy, said Ayako with a shiver. I wonder where he got them. Yuchito frowned as she answered. He's a member of the Aburame clan. Apparently, they allow those insects to live inside of them and feast on their chakra. In return, they are granted the ability to use them and fight for them. So they're like parasites. Gross, she said. It seems Konoha has filled a bunch of freaks, Daisuke said. Yuchito other teammate. Yuchito just shook her head. As the boards went off again. Daisuke versus Rock Lee. Yes, 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 it's my turn, Lee shouted as he jumped around. I used reverse psychology to think that I wouldn't go next. And now it's my turn, he said. Lee, said Guy. As Lee was dancing around. Lee! As this time he punched Lee right in the face, knocking him into a wall. As Lee picked up himself. Yes, Guy Sensei, he said. I'm sorry I had to do that, my burning bright student, he said. But you're just young and burning in the fires of your youth. Guy Sensei! Lee! Guy Sensei! Lee! Guy Sensei! Everyone started to scream as they tried to claw their eyes out. Many of the foreigners were scared at what was going on. What was this? Release, said Kurenai, trying to break this genjutsu. It's not working. As Tenten and Neji weren't affected, and so was the third. Kakashi didn't really care as he wasn't even looking there, he was just reading his book. And Naruto had seen it enough time already as well. Thankful to everyone, they eventually stopped. Now Lee, go fight. Burn and explode in your flames of youth. Yes, Guy Sensei, Lee then said as he jumped off the railing, where Daisuke was already waiting for him. About goddamn time. Just for making me wait. And that awful genjutsu you just used. I'm gonna beat you into the ground like a pulp. Lee frowned as he went into his stance. That is a most unyouthful thing to say. Begin! The moment the fight started, Daisuke had to jump away as Lee moved with so many speed. He had to abandon his hand signs. As Daisuke threw several shurikens at Lee. But Lee dodged each and every one of them as he jumped up in the air. Konoha Senpyu, he said. As Daisuke was sent sailing into the wall with a boom. Daisuke struggled to get back to his knees. You little shit. I'm gonna kill you now, he said. As he went through hand signs. Lightning release, false darkness. A large bolt of lightning shot from his mouth, blasting towards Lee. Or at least where Lee had been, because Lee moved away at incredible speed. Daisuke looked around for Lee, but Lee flashed in front of him. And Daisuke received several hits to the torso for his troubles. He staggered back, holding his now cracked ribs, as Lee disappeared once more. As Daisuke was kicked in the back of the head as he rolled over and got back to his feet. As Daisuke used his one hand and went through one-handed hand sign, as Lee appeared once more. Celestial shock! Electricity burst all around the ground, and Lee was moving too fast to stop himself, as it hit Lee, making him cry out in pain as he collapsed to one knee. How do you like that, Daisuke said, as blood was running down from his nose and his lip, and he was breathing heavily. It is most impressive, Lee said. As Lee shook the attack off, a most useful technique, but I am not without some technique of my own. He looked up at his sensei, who gave him a thumbs up as Lee unwind the bandages off his arms. What the hell are you doing, Daisuke asked, as Lee then burst away again with speed. Daisuke was knocked up in the air, as Lee appeared behind him and wrapped him up, as the both of them spun violently as Daisuke was smashed into the ground, as Lee landed perfectly on his feet. Winner, Rock Lee, said Hayate. Yes, I did it, Guy Sensei, said Lee. Yes, my Lee, that's the way you go, to show your flames of youth. Thank you, Guy Sensei, Lee said, with tears in his eyes. As Naruto stepped between the two of them, Lee, if you two start hugging, I'm gonna throw you over the railing. As Lee looked at Naruto, I apologize, Naruto-san, but I will try to keep my youthful flame down, but it's hard because it's ever rising. As Naruto rolled his eyes, as Tenten sighed. The next match, Ayako versus Hyuga Neji. Neji smirked as he saw who his opponent was. It must be fate. Oh no, this could be a problem, Tenten muttered, as Neji walked down the arena floor. Naruto blinked as he looked at Tenten, as he looked over at her sensei as well, Guy, with a serious expression on his face. He was not sure what was going on, but Neji seemed pleased with something, but Tenten and Guy seemed worried. Meanwhile, Neji had to fight to maintain his Hyuga composure, and not to grin as he stared at his opponent. Normally, I would give you a chance to forfeit, but it seems fate has given me a chance to seek retribution for your village's crime. I would be a fool to pass this up. Ayako frowns, their crimson eyes stare back at him. I have no clue what you're talking about, but I'm not gonna back down. That's good. I don't want you to, said Neji as he went into his stance. Begin, the proctor said. As Neji dashed forward, she went through several hand signs. Chain of lightning. She smashed her fist into the ground and lightning that took the shape of a chain came out. Neji was forced to jump back and move out of the way as the chain followed him, but he stopped after several seconds. Ayako went through more hand signs, trying to not make Neji close the distance between them. If you get in close, I'm done for. Lightning release. Lightning spear. As she held out her hand as a spear of lightning formed, she tossed at Neji. Neji growled as his concentration had slipped enough. There was no time to dodge. So, rotation. As he spun in the rotation, destroying the spear of lightning, Hinata gasped. He knew the rotation? But that's a main house technique, she said. As Kurenai looked over and looked back at her student, who seemed worried a bit. Meanwhile, Ayako gasped as she saw her lightning attack dissipate against the shield. What the hell? How did he block that? As Neji stepped forward, that is called the Kiten, by expelling chakra out of all of my points with a rapid spin. The ultimate defense that cannot be broken. Ayako grit her teeth as she launched several shurikens as she went through more hand signs as lightning crackled on them. Neji channeled chakra into his hands and he swatted them away like they were nothing, striking them. She barely had time to move as Neji was upon her. What happened next was not even a battle, it was just a beating. In his rage and desire for vengeance, he lashed out at her, striking painful blows all over her body. She felt like her chakra coils were taken and someone burned them, the fire jutsu, as blood poured from her mouth as everyone watched in shock. As it didn't look like Neji was striking her anymore because it was moving so fast, it looked like her body was just being hit several points over. Hayate then saw the girl staggered back as she was about to fall. He announced Neji the winner, but Neji did not care. Neji powered up another jogging strike as he aimed for her heart as he dashed forward. Ayako Yuchito screamed. Everyone was about to jump over the railing to stop Neji from killing her. This would be bad. The match was already over, and for him to kill a Kumo Kunoichi like this, well, anyone from Kumo, and they were not on fighting terms, this was going to cause a negative lash out, as it was for naught as Neji struck her in the chest. But she poofed away with a log. Everyone was confused. How did that happen? She was closed off completely from her chakra. What the hell was that? As everyone turned, as Naruto was behind Neji with Ayako in his arms, as he gently laid her on the ground, she was barely conscious. As Neji spun around and gave Naruto a harsh glare. Uzumaki, why did you intervene in my battle? The battle was already over, didn't you hear? You were announced the winner. Were you not listening to the proctor announcing you as the winner? As Yuchito arrived, along with several medics as they went off with Ayako on a stretcher. Naruto was angry while he did not know her. He hated to see people bullying and picking on other people, especially girls, seeing that there was two girls in his life that were close to him, Anko and Tenten, so he was pissed. You better hope I don't fight your sorry ass in the finals. I'm gonna knock your ass back. Rikudo Senin, said Naruto. As Guy appeared beside Neji. Neji, I'm disappointed in you, he said. I know why you hate Kumo, but blaming it on someone that had nothing to do with it. That is just wrong. Neji shrugged Guy's hand off as he went up to the stairs. Naruto sighed as he went back up. What? Is there something on my face? As many people were staring at him surprised. Dope. How did you move so fast? Well, I've been working on my speed, said Naruto. Sasuke frowned as Naruto walked past him, but Naruto looked at the dent that was in his guard from Neji's attack. The reason is he replaced himself with that girl, and he also switched himself with a log before getting hit. But it seems like he was still not fast enough to escape without getting barely dented. Well, it's definitely faster than that Shunshin you ninja used, the Kyuubi said. That's because I noticed that back in the Hidden Wave, the Shunshin had some weaknesses, the swirling leaves and the smoke. That would work on low level shinobis but not the higher one. Alright, when you get out of here, I'll help you best as I can, said the Kyuubi. She felt strange offering her help to someone like this. She wasn't used to doing that. Thanks, Kyuubi, said Naruto. Well, They will have to be friends, Naruto thought to himself. The next match was Sakura versus Temari. As Temari jumped down there, looks like I got another fangirl. You won't be talking like that when I beat you, said Sakura, as this girl was calling her out on her fangirl tendencies. Yeah, kick that bitch's ass, said inner Sakura. Begin, the proctor said. Sakura ran at Temari and created 3 bunchings. As Temari sneered. What a pathetic academy level tactic. As Temari pulled out her fan, Windside Jutsu, Sakura was hit by a large gust of wind that smashed her into the wall as she lost consciousness. Everyone sweat Jock. Kakashi, did you teach a girl anything? Kurenai asked. I did give her a few scrolls with some genjutsus and some training exercises tip and how to increase her reserves, but she seemed like she hadn't practiced at all outside of team training. That's a huge understatement, said Naruto. She spent all of her times stalking Sasuke or plotting her many ways on how to rape him. Sasuke glared at Naruto. I really hate you, dope, he said, as Naruto merely smirked. The next fight was Dosu versus Kabuto. Kabuto wanted to give up, but he saw that his sensei shook his head. I see. Well, I suppose I can make this a solid fight, he said, as Kabuto was merely playing along with him. And it would not do good for a spy like him to seem that strong. So in the end he surrendered, allowing Dosu to win. The next battle was Hinata versus Choji. The battle went on for a while until Choji got large. She tried to hit his points, but her attacks merely bounced off, as the both of them were dodging and trying to hit each other all around, with Hinata fighting furiously with her Byakugan, making Kurenai proud. It was then that Hinata pulled out her rotation, as Choji smashed into it, as something had to give out eventually. It was Hinata's jutsu, as Nietzsche was furious, like someone like her know how to do it. But there was a large explosion of chakra as the rotation was released in a violent manner. Both Hinata and Choji were sent sailing back as they hit the wall on the opposite end, as the both of them fell unconscious. Due to both fighters being unconscious, I call this match a draw, said Hayate, as the medics rush out on the field. The next match, Uzumaki Naruto versus Sabuku Nogara. Oh, it looks like you're upset, Tenten. Finally, said Naruto. I guess they were saving the best for last. He was just about to go down when the hand stopped him. As he turned to see Chino, I suggest that you forfeit, Uzumaki-san. I saw this one fight in the forest of death. As a fellow comrade, I feel it's my duty to inform you to forfeit. Naruto rolled his eyes. Well, thanks for that, Chino. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside to know that you care. But don't worry, I'm gonna kick some ass, he said. Well, he's dead, said Conqueror. No way will that brat survive against Gaara. That's too bad. He was pretty hot, thought Temari. As Naruto arrived, sorry for the delay, but the Naruto Express is here and now ready to kick your ass straight back to the hidden sand. Now buckle up and keep safe, he said, as Gaara merely stared at him. Tough crowd, huh? Are both fighters ready? Both of them nodded. Begin, said Hayate. Hayate barely had time to get away as sand burst from Gaara's gort, as Naruto jumped away despite being surprised. So he used sand as a form of attack, Naruto thought, narrowing his eyes. He will need to gather some more information about him before coming up with a sound strategy to fight off against him. Whoa, he has gotten faster. Even as fast as Lee, thought Tenten. Is it because of his change of appearance? Gaara also seemed surprised as he looked over to the opposite side, as he sent another wave of sand towards Naruto. What the hell? How much sand does he keep in that thing? Naruto, that sand of his seemed to be an automatic defense, like Kyuubi said as she was watching his opponent. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but it's not even in his control unless he sends it at you. As Naruto did a backflip several times as Gaara sent several tentacles of sand crashing towards him. So you're saying it's being controlled by something or someone else, Naruto said, as he courteously dodged several more tentacles of sand. Well, it seems like he's a Jinchuriki as well, holding the Ichibai. As Naruto's eyes went wide. What? Wind style. As Naruto smashed his fist out that produced a ball of wind that smashed into the sand, dispelling it. So you're telling me it's a Jinchuriki as well? That's just peachy. Shit, Naruto says. He jumped away from another tentacle of sand that intended to impale him. This sand is really pissing me off. Yes, he holds the Ichibai, the one tail, Tsunuki. He's the weakest from the Bichu that I know, but he's still not to be underestimated. As you can already tell, it gives this child complete control over sand. And that is quite useful. So I'd noticed, Naruto said. Naruto pumped yokai in his muscles, time to switch it up a bit, as he moved off as fast as Lee, without his weights on, as everyone was surprised by that speed displayed, because, except for the Hokage, the Jonin senseis, and a few genins that could properly see, Naruto just disappeared. As he reappeared in front of a shocked Gaara, eat this! As the sand came up to protect Gaara, but Naruto's face smashed right through it, and smashed into Gaara's face, knocking him as he hit the wall. I don't believe it. He just hit Gaara, Temari shouted, as she was shocked, as Conqueror and Baki were shocked. No one had managed to do what this Genin just did. He's as fast as Lee, without his weights, said Tenten in surprise. She has seen Naruto fight plenty of times and even spar with him. Yosh! Naruto-kun is blazing with youth, said Lee. Lee, it seems like you've inspired Naruto to fan his youthful flames, guy said. Look at him. Just look at him. I understand, guy sensei. And just more, I will increase my youthful flames as well. Gaara picked himself up and he was grinning. What the hell? Is that sand? As Naruto saw Gaara's face cracking. That's it, Uzumaki. Make me feel alive, Gaara said, as he shot more sand at Naruto. As Naruto saw that Gaara's sand was fast as before, and it was getting faster as Gaara was moving his hands, and the sand was increasing in speed and precise. But Naruto pumped up his speed as he dashed past Gaara's sand and body slammed right into Gaara, as Gaara smashed into the wall again as he gasped in pain. You hurt me, Gaara said, as a bit of blood dripped out of his mouth. I'll kill you, he screamed. Sand came from Naruto from everywhere as he tried to dodge all of them, but one of the tentacles wrapped around him. As Gaara grinned as he made his hand smash Naruto into everything, walls, floor, several times to the ground. As Naruto finally broke out of it. Damn it, that hurt, he said, as his cloak had ripped to shreds in the terrible thrashing that he received, as he coughed up blood, as he wiped his mouth. But Naruto stood back up as the others were shocked. He was just slammed into the floor, the walls, several times over, but he stood back up. As Naruto went through handstand and thrust his palms out, as two large tornadoes came from them, destroying Gaara's sand. As Naruto was then grabbed again as sand broke from the ground from every angle, as the sand grabbed onto his arm. Everyone then watched a gruesome sight as Gaara clenched his arm, as Naruto's arm was ripped off, as he screamed out in pain and dropped to his knees, blood gushing from the stump. As everyone, eyes went wide, couldn't believe what they saw, as Sakura threw up. Even Chino looked solemn. Hinata, who just woke up, started to cry. Ino and Choji and Shikamaru, as they were on the verge of vomiting. Even the others were shocked, but Anko, she was biting her teeth as she wanted to kill Gaara, looking down at him fiercely. As Orochimaru was there, it's too bad. The boy holds the Kyuubi. He would make a wonderful vessel, because even with that condition, the boy did not give up. Oh no, said Sarutobi. I need to stop this before it gets out of hand. Hayate. As Hayate stepped forward, due to Naruto unable to— No, Naruto said, stopping him. Don't you think about stopping this fight. It ain't over yet. As everyone looked at him like he was crazy, as Naruto picked up himself. Good. Keep on struggling, Uzumaki. Make me feel alive, Gaara said. Hey, any ideas, Naruto asked. Well, I can regenerate your arm if you want, but it's gonna hurt. I think I can take it. Alright then, brace yourself. As Naruto exploded in a roar, as right energy exploded all over his body. All of the Konoha ninjas who knew that chakra recognized it, as Naruto went down, growling furiously. His whisker mark thickened, his eyes turned slick red, and his fangs protruded even more. What an intense feeling. So this is the Kyuubi's power, said Nibi. This is the Kyuubi's power? That feeling, that bloodlust, said Yuchito, as she sweat. What kind of power is that, said Temari. As the others, Sakura and Ino were trembling as the power washed over them. But Sasuke was glaring at Naruto. How could he have that much power, as he could feel the power? It was then that bones burst out of Naruto's stump. As blood, everything started to burst everywhere. Everyone watching a mixture of shock and awe as muscles started to form all over the bone, as new skin started to come on his arm. As Naruto collapsed down his new arm, as he clenched a couple of times. You were right. That hurt like a bitch. You're welcome, she said, caught slightly off guard by him thanking her. Oh, and I think I have a way for you to defeat him. If you can heat that sand around his skin, it will turn into glass. And infused with my yokai, you will trap him inside. Only problem, I don't have a fire jutsu. Don't worry, that is where I come in. You just aim your arms, and I'll do the rest. Gar was surprised as he looked at Naruto, but he started to laugh. Yes, Uzumaki, I knew it. You're the one. Mother wants your blood, he screamed. Well, you can tell your mother to screw off, said Naruto. As he burst away with speed. Hit me, Kyuubi, he said. Right. As Naruto's hands exploded into flames, white flames that were incredibly hot. Sand tentacles came at Naruto hard, as Naruto raised his hand and swatted them away, as they turned into glass as he smashed them. Naruto-kun. As Tenten was surprised, everyone was surprised they saw the white flames burning brightly in his arms, as Naruto flashed in front of Gar and thrust his hands out, as a large explosion went off. Explosion of white flames. Gar let Temari scream. He might be a psychopath and a killer, but he was still her brother. As everything cleared away to show. As Naruto was in front of Gar with his hand, Gar was trapped in a crystal. It seems like he was trapped with red energy all over it. He's not dead yet. However, if you don't claim me the victor soon, he'd run out of oxygen and die, because I'm not letting him out, said Naruto, until you claim me the victor. As Hayate walked over, still in shock to what he just witnessed. The kid arm and all that. Right. Winner! Uzumaki Naruto. As everyone was surprised. I don't believe it, said Conqueror. He beat Gaara. As some of the other genin started to cheer, realizing what happened. Hell yeah, Naruto, you showed him, Sakura yelled out. Excellent job, Naruto, Kakashi shouted out, surprising many of the jonins, since Kakashi never really showed that much emotions. That's showing him, Naruto-kun, said Tenten loudly. Yeah, kid, you kicked his ass, said Uncle, as she was very proud of him. Unbelievable, said Yuchito, as she couldn't believe what she just saw. I didn't realize he was so strong. I have to agree, kid, not many humans his age can be that strong. You know, with the way you're acting and looking at him right now, one could think that you're attracted to him. Nibi, no, it's not the time to be thinking about something like that, and besides, he's what? At least 4 years younger than me? I can't date someone that younger than me. But that is much of an age difference. And you're a ninja, aren't you? Old enough to kill. Old enough to have hot, passionate sex. Isn't it something like that? Shut up, Nibi, said Yuchito. Meanwhile, Naruto fall down on his ass. Gaara, said Temari, she tried to break him out of this. Don't worry, he has oxygen to last him about an hour. I suggest taking him somewhere to start to strip at that and remove him, Naruto said. Unless he can get out on his own. She looked at him for a moment before nodding thanks. After regrowing a limb, all that pain, yeah, he was exhausted, and now that the momentum was over, he collapsed unconscious. But guys, be in this episode right here. Remember to stay in tune for what if Naruto got his memory sealed away. And also I'm going to be posting a new episode of what if Naruto was given a second chance, and what if Naruto was raised by Hyuga clan. But for now, I'm out. Peace.